Hi, and welcome to the Ben Adelson video series on Microsoft Modern Workplace. My name is Jason Kondo.
My name's Sam Monroe.
And we're going to be talking today through a three-part series about what it takes to manage the new modern workplace as defined by Microsoft. So Sam, what is the modern workplace?
Well, modern workplace is integrating Microsoft Windows 10, Office 365, and whatever your management tools are, ConfigMgr and Intune specifically.
Okay, and that's part of what's considered the M365 suite now, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay, and so that's our OS platform. That's our productivity tools, and then the management tools around that, right?
That's exactly right. Keeping you up to date for the sake of security, for creativity, and just leveraging all of the new tools in the cloud to ensure your environment is up to date and secure.
Okay, great. We can cut so that way I can, because I've got this long pause. What was our transition to then service? Okay, so go back to the last slide. Okay, so in doing this, we need to keep up to date then, right? So what you're saying is Microsoft's going to be coming out with these products, and in this modern workplace, we need to be more agile to the changes coming down because it's all cloud-based now, right?
A lot of it, yes.
Okay.
And so let's take a look at how we've traditionally done things to get an idea of where we've been and where we're going.
Okay, great.
So for example, a lot of places want to patch. They want to stay up to date.
Okay.
So every Tuesday, Patch Tuesday hits, or it's every second Tuesday, excuse me, Patch Tuesday hits, or a service pack comes out, and so we're gonna patch individual operating systems. We're gonna upgrade certain applications, and it's sort of a project. We put in a change request and we go do it.
Okay.
These are coming out either once a month at the most, as far as patches go.
Okay.
Or service packs are coming out, maybe once a year, maybe once every 6 months. Some time range that's sort of random, but
okay,
it takes a while.
Okay.
So a lot of organizations are sort of picking and choosing what they want to do because they've got internal apps that maybe have issues when a patch comes out. Maybe service packs are not handled by the ConfigMan team. Maybe, like for instance, SQL. If you do a service pack, the SQL, the database team handles that. There's some, selectiveness that's based on user needs, business needs. There's a justification, based on impact. So there's a lot of reasons, but sometimes things are not patched and then they tend to get forgotten about.
Okay.
As a result, we've got this update and innovation gap. You're running, for instance, in these green bars, that's what you've patched up to this point.
Okay.
And blue is the entire product, what Microsoft thinks it should be. And the red gap, from month to month, this gap can increase between what you've got patched, what latest innovations you've got out. And so,
and this isn't only covering the say the Windows OS or Office, but this would be any of my products, right?
Absolutely.
So if I choose to have an older product like Java or something like that, then that innovation gap, because there's 15 versions that have been replaced since then.
Absolutely.
And if I haven't kept up to it, either because my application needs it or because I just don't do that,
yes,
then that builds that gap, right?
Absolutely. Common issues. I know a lot of people are. Hopefully, you're not on Server 2003 at this point, but there's a lot of people who still have a Server 2003 sitting out there in the environment because they're afraid of this critical app breaking if we upgrade. So that sits, and that creates an innovation gap.
Actually, we just had a customer that was dealing with that right now, right?
Yes.
And they're trying to upgrade, and it is going to be very painful for them to upgrade.
Yes.
Because they didn't keep up to date as they went.
Yes, they sat on it, and it always worked. There's no need to change it, and now we're 16 years later, and they have an issue. So
wow.
So let's take a look. So we're going to use Windows 7 as an example of the problems that Microsoft can run into when they're trying to keep enterprises up to date.
Okay.
So when they're testing Windows 7 and they're testing patches, they are testing a fully patched machine. Everything they've ever come out with, everything that they've said, we're getting rid of that, we're adding this, they are testing against a vanilla, fully patched machine.
And that's supersedence, things like that, right?
Absolutely.
Now, if they didn't do that, they'd have to test, they'd have to have millions of different versions of the OS with every possible patch series, right?
Yes, infinite diversity and infinite combination. For the dorky people out there, you know what that one is a reference to. But yeah, so there's differences. Obviously, they have to test every format, every version.
Okay,
it's impossible.
Right,
there are too many variations.
Right.
Over here, you've got all these gaps over here, and this is what a typical.
You mean the one on the left there?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a typical enterprise environment.
Okay.
There's legit reasons for not patching at different times.
Mm-hmm.
We have an internal app that this is going to break. We heard that this security patch had issues, so we decided to pull it. And we didn't come back around to it as an organization. It's completely legit and it's totally normal. Unfortunately, when a new update comes out and you run it against that version of Windows 7, there's gaps and it can cause problems and it can cause things to break.
I think we've even put in helped customers put in what we consider update review processes that allowed them to go through, review the update, and see if it was even valid for their environment, which meant they could check it off and not have to come back to it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in a lot of our processes, when we are going to come in and upgrade something, the first step we say is make sure your machine is patched, it's fully patched, because we don't know what's going to happen if those steps haven't been done. We want to make sure that that's handled before we do any changes on our end.
Now, we would consider this technology debt, right? So this is, if I've chosen not to patch or not to upgrade my applications or not to upgrade even systems in my enterprise, this is how my enterprise can look, discombobulated, holes in it. And then when I want to implement a new technology, I have to then pay for that debt. Right. I've been sweeping that dirt under the rug going, well, it's not important to me now, not important to me now. Now, when I have a change, now I have to deal with it. So traditionally, we would have dealt with that in a large project.
Yes.
But can I still do that?
With the new modern desktop, the idea is that the new modern workplace, we don't want you to do that project. We want you to have a process in place. And in our next series, we're going to talk a little bit about that and explain how we can get your organization there.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.